One word that comes to mind is foundation. Most people do not have their foundation built, and as a result, you gave this example of their pyramids upside down. They have like no safe assets, and anything that the wind could blow the wrong way, or a stock market crash, or a job loss, and all that could be, all their whole financial life can come crumbling down. This is Better Wealth with Caleb Guilliams. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Better Wealth Podcast. I'm here with Aaron Deemer, and we are going to be introducing a very special series to the Better Wealth Podcast on the And Asset Handbook. Now, some of you have already read the And Asset Handbook. It's been edited and revised since our last live together. And what we really want to do is go through this. We're going to do this for twofold. We need to do the audio version, and so Aaron, you're going to be reading the whole thing without interruptions, which is going to be hard for me. But then at the end, we're going to have a dialogue, and I'll give kind of thoughts. And if there's anything that I don't like to hear, maybe some final edits as well. And this podcast will be a form of documenting the journey as we go on. So anything that you wanted to say, big picture in this project, because were very much spearheading this whole deal, and this wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, well, first of all, super excited to be here and to be sharing this with all of you. I just found going through this whole thing was super valuable to me personally, and I know it's going to be super valuable to so many of you, because we hear so much about the core concepts of the AND asset and how it can be so powerful, how it can do so many things for you. But actually diving into why that is and the science behind it all is just really powerful, and that's what this handbook is going to do.
I love it. All right, let's dive in.
All right, Chapter 1, The Financial Pyramid and the 4 Guiding Principles. Welcome to the And Asset Handbook. First of all, I just want to congratulate you for being here. I truly believe that this handbook has the ability to make a dramatic and lasting impact in your life. It is my mission to show people the truth about creating freedom and control in their lives, no matter how contrarian the idea is. In fact, the more contrarian an idea is, the more likely I am to take a closer look, because most of the time, the 2% are doing things that the 98% are not. You'll see the power of the AND asset and why it has been used for hundreds of years as the financial foundation for many of the world's most powerful individuals and corporations. I think you'll soon realize why you haven't heard of this before, but you'll also realize just how powerful it is and why it can be such an impactful tool in your life. In this handbook, I want to dive deep into the AND asset and provide the nuts and bolts of how the AND asset works, what it is, and why it's so powerful. I also will show you some case studies on why the AND asset is the greatest place to save and use your money at the same time. The AND asset was a core reason I became obsessed with transforming American financial education, and getting this message out has been my mission and my fire to jump out of bed each and every morning. While it may seem like overkill, I truly believe the AND asset has the power to change lives, give unmatched levels of peace, confidence, and freedom in one's financial life. I hope that by reading this handbook, you'll become as much of a believer in the AND asset as I am. Please read this with an open mind, because I'm going to be telling you some things that go against what you've previously been taught. But as Albert Einstein said, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. If you're open to learning and even questioning what I'm about to say, you'll see that this is much more than a new product or get-rich-quick scheme. It is a monumental pillar in the history of wealth creation, and you'll see that the concepts in this small handbook can have an instant and lasting impact on your life. Why the AND asset? To begin, I want to share a concept that will change the way you think about finances forever. You see, there's something called a financial pyramid, and everyone is building one, whether they know it or not. Every dollar you save for the future is building your financial pyramid. The way you build this financial pyramid will determine whether you live in constant fear, scarcity, and anxiety for your future, or whether you will live in confidence, freedom, and security. If you build your financial pyramid correctly, you will not only ensure you have enough money to maintain your standard of living for the rest of your life, but you will also have money left over to live a truly intentional life. A life where you are in control and where you wake up enthusiastic about what lies ahead. So, what is this financial pyramid, and how can you ensure you build yours correctly? Well, your financial pyramid is composed of 2 segments. On the top half of the pyramid, you have your high growth assets segment. This is where you have investments that carry risk. On the bottom half, you have your safe assets segment, which is made up of safe, cash-like reserves. This bottom segment of safe assets should be the biggest piece of your financial pyramid, as it forms the foundation, yet most people have their financial pyramids completely upside down. For 98% of people, their financial pyramid is built on stocks in a 401k, mutual funds, risky real estate, and possibly equity in their business, but they only have a tiny percentage built on safe money vehicles. If you're building your financial pyramid on risky, high growth assets, you're putting your future in danger and could be in for an ugly surprise. I know many people who lost huge chunks of their retirement savings, sometimes more than half of those savings, simply because they built their financial pyramid on risky assets rather than safe assets. The big question is, if I need to build my financial pyramid on safe assets, and most safe assets are growing at less than 1% per year, where can I possibly put my money where it will grow into a sizable nest egg? That is the core question we'll be answering in this handbook. In the following pages, you'll see why the AND asset is the ultimate safe asset. Not only will it let you build your financial pyramid on a secure foundation, it will let your money grow into a sizable nest egg. It will also offer many other benefits. I hope you are as excited about this as I am. So, who this is for? Before I dive in, I know a lot of you have read my book, The AND Asset, and have seen the amazing benefits that it provides, but you still have a lot of questions. Maybe you want to know the science behind how your AND asset should be structured, or maybe you want to know how you can spend the money you have put into your AND asset. Well, I have a lot of empathy for people like you because I was that same person. I went on a 2+ year journey just figuring out how this works, learning how the watch is made, so to speak. This handbook is an outline of the 5 elements that I believe you need to understand in order to fully grasp why the AND asset is so powerful. We're going to start by breaking down what the AND asset is and the 3 types of plans that allow the strategy to be custom tailored to each family or individual. But first, we're going to walk through the core principles that guide every financial we make here at BetterWealth. The 4 guiding principles. The 4 principles I'm about to reveal are not just fancy words chosen to put on a poster or to make us sound smart in front of potential clients. They are the foundation of every decision we make and truly sit at the core of everything we do. This is because we believe these pillars are the 4 essential building blocks of a financial plan that provides both security in your future and also freedom to live an intentional life which you truly love. The principles are clarity, efficiency, consistency, and use, and we will dive into each of these individually. Without these 4 principles in action, you will either fail to hit your goals or struggle much more than you need to, or simply end up hitting a goal that didn't actually get you what you wanted. However, by making sure each decision you make aligns with these 4 principles, you will not only reach your goals, but you will reach the goals that will be most meaningful and impactful in your life. And you will reach them much, much faster than you ever thought possible. Finally, these 4 principles will provide some valuable context to the power of the AND asset and why we are such a big believer in it. As you read through this handbook, even if you're considering alternatives to the AND asset, use these 4 principles as your guide. I will show you how the AND asset aligns with all 4 of these principles, but I still want you to pay close attention to why each of them are so important and determine for yourself how you can align best with each of these principles. Principle 1, clarity. Start with the ROR in mind. The first principle we're going to cover is clarity, which actually has nothing to do with money. It does have to do with something called ROR, but not the ROR you think. You see, when I talk about ROR, I'm not talking about rate of return. Instead, I'm talking about something I call return on result. Return on result means that you're focusing on the result of your financial actions rather than just the rate of return. For example, you have 3 big goals of your life. They are to retire on a beachfront property, provide your kids with the best opportunities possible throughout their life, and eventually pass on your legacy through a sizable death benefit. Then you would want to ensure you have a plan that provides growth for your future, liquidity throughout your life, and life insurance to provide for your kids when you pass away. However, if your financial advisor tells you to lock up all your money in a retirement account, they are only looking at one metric, rate of return. As we will discuss, the AND asset is a multi-dimensional tool that does much more than simply give you a rate of return. Give you the ability to do much more with your money and live a life much more aligned with your true desires. To show my clients how they can fully take advantage of this, I ask every one of them to think about what their life would look like if money wasn't an issue. In other words, if you had $10 million or unlimited dollars, what would your life look like? Once they have that desired lifestyle in mind, they can start making decisions based on whether that decision will help them achieve more or less of that desired lifestyle. If you want to achieve true financial freedom, it starts with getting clarity on the results you want. Then build a plan to get those results, not just look at a number in your retirement account. Principle 2, efficiency. Minimize opportunity cost. The second principle to understand is efficiency. And there's actually a formula I wrote in my book describing how efficiency is achieved. This formula is E equals MC squared. Essentially, this shows that E, efficiency, is the product of M, money, multiplied by C squared, or compounding and control. The power of the AND asset comes when you realize that you can achieve maximum control and compounding. This in turn lets you save more money, thereby maximizing each piece of this equation. This is so important because it is not an or asset any longer, and you are now eliminating the false choice of living for today or saving for the future. Perhaps the most important piece to remember about efficiency is opportunity cost, because opportunity cost factors in both money and time and makes each decision cost much more than we originally think. Most people think of each purchase costing them the price on the price tag. Opportunity cost means that they are paying far more than just the sticker price. You see, by spending $1, you are not just losing that dollar, but you're losing what that dollar could have earned over the rest of your life. For example, if you spend $100 today, you are missing out on the $380 of interest that $100 would have earned over 40 years at a conservative 4% interest rate. Being mindful of every purchase you make could add up to a lot of extra money in retirement. There are many other ways to enhance efficiency in your plan, such as optimizing your assets, liabilities, and cash flow. Overall, efficiency comes from having the highest volume of money growing at the fastest rate, while having full control and access to that money. The more you can optimize each of these variables, the more efficient you will become and the faster you will achieve your goals. Principle 3, consistency. Maximize your incentive to save. As mentioned before, efficiency comes not only from the compounding and control of your money, but also from the amount of money that is being compounded and controlled. Thus, the ability to be consistent in our savings and save more money in any savings vehicle is extremely important. Fortunately, by using the AND asset as the foundation of your savings, our clients are able to save 3 to 4 times as much as they would have otherwise. How? Well, we'll go into this in more detail later. But when you're able to show your dollars how to do multiple jobs while maintaining control at all times, it becomes a no-brainer to save as much as possible. Principle 4, use. Investing in your greatest asset. Finally, all this boils down to the single idea that you are your number one asset. If you are an investor or have money in the stock market or real estate, you might think that there are 1 or 2 assets that trump all others. Well, I'm here to tell you that the asset which will produce the greatest return of them all is yourself. Rather than investing in other people and other assets, what if you could start increasing your own value and start investing in yourself more than anything else? If your money is set up with an AND asset in this way, could you not become more powerful in your life as a business person, as a spouse, as a parent, as an investor? When you can stop worrying about emergencies or your future financial security, you will be able to think more profusely and start taking advantage of new opportunities. Ultimately, this freedom is what lets you live the life you truly want. No matter what you invest in, the beauty of all this is that you get to choose exactly what you want that to be. The fourth principle of use simply means that every decision you make should ultimately help you use your money in a way that aligns with your goals. Use is simply putting the first principle, clarity, into action, and is letting you live the life and realize the ROR, or return on results, you set out for yourself. Summary. If you have clarity on where you want to go and are handling your money efficiently to create extra cash flow, if you are saving that money in a place where it can both grow and be controlled, and if you use that money to put your goals and dreams into action, that is true financial success. Take the next step. If you are ever interested in learning more or want to find out if this is a good fit for you, you can book a free clarity call with one of our wealth coaches or go to calendly.com/betterwealth/and-asset.
Alrighty, man. Chapter 1 in the books. Some key concepts that came out is obviously the financial pyramid. One word that comes to mind is foundation. Most people do not have their foundation built, and as a result, you gave this example of their pyramids upside down. They have like no safe assets, and anything that the wind could blow the wrong way, or a stock market crash, or a job loss, and all that could be all their whole financial life can come crumbling down. So that was one thing I love that we talked about the 4 guiding principles, because this is everything. I mean, if you don't have a clear understanding of the principles of better wealth, this strategy or the following strategies that we discover here aren't really going to matter if you don't have clarity on what's important to you. And ROR is been one of those things where I'm going to go back time and time again for the rest of my life and go, what do you really want? And what do you need to do to get you there? I love that we talk about opportunity cost as it relates to efficiency. It's as it relates to time, short term and long term. I also like that you talked about consistency being this concept of saving. It's our understanding that most people are under saving, under investing, and so just by giving your dollars more than one job, it can open up options to save more money. Because if you're watching this or if you're listening to this, there's a very good chance that you'll need to be saving more money. But then I love that we ended on you being your greatest asset and using your money and looking at the derivative of what's usually making that money possible. So in summary, chapter 1 is getting just clear on where we're at. And anything that you any final words from chapter 1?
No, I'm just excited to get into the rest of this handbook.
That's right. All right. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening to the Better Wealth Podcast. It would mean the world to me if you could hit subscribe, leave a review, and share this with the people that you know and love.